everyone, today we're at Chef Jason Tan's new restaurant, Euphoria, for lunch. So this restaurant was newly opened just in December, and when we walked into this place, there's this slight entrance, this slight segment which has sunlight coming through. So if you look over there, it's really beautiful. And from what we understand from the staff here as well, the design of the restaurant was actually inspired by the layers of the onion. So if you look at this right here, it's also shaped like an onion. So I guess staying true to the Gastrobotanica roots, the design is also having elements of the vegetable onion as well. And from what we understand, the lunch menu sauces are completely vegetables based, no meat based sauces as well. So we're really looking forward to the lunch here at Chef Jason Tan's restaurant. And to start off, we ordered a sparkling tea. So this is by the Copenhagen Sparkling Tea Company. And in here we have jasmine tea, white tea, as well as Darjeeling tea. And it's slightly sparkling, no alcoholic content at all, and it's a completely organic tea. So let's have a sip. There's something really light, and I would even say fruity. Not what I would expect of tea. I mean, firstly because it's cold, and also because it's sparkling. It doesn't even resemble things that you would think kombucha. There's a very fruity undertone and even floral undertone to it. I think the Darjeeling is the one that stands out the most, with the jasmine followed by the white tea, because white tea tends to be really light. So this is something that I would highly recommend you order by the glass when you drop by. So to kick off the first of our 4-course lunch menu, they have started with the Mochishire. So instead of your traditional bread and butter, what you get here is a really, really warm Mochishire, which is inspired by the Japanese mochi as well as the Yorkshire pudding. So it's two very different textures that they've combined into this cute little bite-sized Mochishire, they call it. And I believe there's also brie cheese that's infused in it as well. And on the side, we have the bell peppers as well as the bell peppers dip, which is also topped with some olive oil spheres. So the chef suggested that we eat this Mochishire on its own, and then we try it with this dip. So let's have a bite and see how this tastes on its own. Ooh, super soft. Check it out. Oh my gosh. Let's try it. Fantastic. Reminds me more of the mochi than the Yorkshire pudding, but what I really like is that it's served absolutely warm on the outside, on the inside, and the outside is so crunchy, while inside is so soft, and when I pulled it apart, I just couldn't wait to taste it. And yes, you can taste the cheese in it as well. So let's try it with the dip now. So this is the tomato bell peppers dip with some olive oil spheres. This is how I think I should eat it. It looks exciting. Tastes really great on its own, but it tastes even better with the dip. I would say I can't really taste the tomatoes, maybe it's just the tanginess, but the bell pepper taste is really strong here. And the olive oil spheres kind of just disintegrates into it because everything is just so warm. But this is fantastic. Alright, so here we are onto the Amuse Bouche, and here we have what looks like toast, and in it you have the gorgonzola cheese, which is usually very strong. And here, besides the cheese, I can also smell the black truffle as well, and there's also some honey. So I believe the saltiness will also complement the sweetness of it. And next, we have the Tobiko fish roll with some avocado and lime as well. So let me start by tasting what this toast would taste like. So beautiful, look at it, how it's plated. There's even flowers at both sides of it. Amazing. The taste of the truffle is great. When you smell it, I thought the truffle would be the one with the most overpowering taste, but when you taste it, the gorgonzola really is the base of the entire brick, and I really like it. The honey sort of balances out the savouriness from the truffle as well as the cheese, so it's a good complement as well. So now let's have this tobiko and avocado. Let's have it in one shot. Just look at how it's plated, I love it. Check out the flowers on it. Okay, so let's see how this goes. I really like tobiko or ikura, so I'm very curious how this will taste. It should be extra crunchy given the shell and how they use tobiko instead of ikura. I believe it will literally just burst in your mouth. You can definitely taste the kaffir lime. Reminds me sort of like Thai influenced dishes. And the avocado is really smooth and contrasts the crunchiness, the burst in your mouth taste from the tobiko. So yeah, this is really a party in my mouth right now. Alright, so now we have the carrot and beef dish. So the carrot is individually served and the beef is actually meant for sharing between the two of us. And here, for the carrot dish, if you can see, it's basically carrot tartare and held together by mustard and dill with egg as well. So this is really interesting because usually when you think of tartare, it's like beef tartare, tuna tartare. But let's see how it will taste like with carrot tartare. So they sort of blinged it up with a bit of Ossetra Prestige caviar. So I believe this is really going to be smooth and creamy as well. And here on the side we have the beef. So this is actually beef tripe, tu. So it's usually, I associate it more with a street side kind of snack, you know, you eat it while you're walking in a night market. But here it's actually fried beef tripe with all these spices. So you have your nutmeg, your cinnamon, as well as your star anise, and I'm sure there are many other spices as well. And this, when both of these are served, I mean the smell of the spices is really strong right now. I don't know which one I should start with, probably this one, because I think this might be overpowering. So let's dig into this first. I'm going to try it without the caviar first. Check it out. I think you can see what looks like mustard seeds as well. I think this will be amazing. But the carrot is very sweet. But there's also mustard, there's also dill. Dill is always very strong, so I think the carrot sweetness is sort of balanced out by the mustard and dill. It's a really good dish. Now let's try it with the caviar. Very smooth, creamy. The caviar is just bursting in your mouth, adding that sort of savouriness to this. Amazing dish. Nothing like anything I've ever had. Like carrot tartare, just so sweet, ingenious. And now let's try the beef tripe. This is going to be my first time eating beef tripe. To be honest, guys, I don't usually eat innards of animals. So I'm very curious how this will taste, especially when the spice is so attractive right now. The outside is crunchy and the inside is actually chewy, so you can still see the tripe in it. And the spices kind of mask up the, I don't know, I always have this worry that the innards have this inside smell, but the spice definitely masks that up. So I think this is really interesting. And they recommended eating with the tartare. So back to another mouth of tartare now. My favorite is still the tartare. It's such an ingenious dish. And this still reminds me of the street side snacks, but served here with such spices really makes it very delicious as well. Alright guys, so here we are onto the fish dish. This is New Zealand Blue Cod, and if you look here, you'll see that the scales are super crispy, and the menu literally states that like crispy scales. I can't wait to see how this will taste. And on the side, we have huge Hokkaido scallops and button mushrooms as well. And here is a chestnut sauce, and on the side here is a legumes emulsion. So I was told that in this emulsion you have 3 different types of cabbages, you have onions, and you have some portobello and mushroom sauce in it as well. So I'm very excited to see how this will taste. Let's dig in. So let's see. Maybe I'll start with the fish. Since the fish is the highlight. Oh, the scales are so crispy, can you hear that? Wow. Guys, I have to say, this might be the best fish I've eaten in my life. The flesh is super duper soft, it's melting in my mouth, and it's also very well contrasted with the crispy scales of the skin. I know some of you out there might not like fish skin, you know, you remove it from the fried fish or the fish slices that you order. But I tell you, the fish skin here is so crispy, you'll definitely enjoy it. It's like having a oven salted egg fish chips, those kind of crispiness, but without the salted egg, of course. So it's super crispy and the flesh is so sweet, so smooth. It's amazing. So now let's try the mushroom. It's the emulsion and chestnut. Very fresh. But I don't see how amazing mushroom could be. But well, it does taste like the usual that you'll order with your salad as well. And so let's try the Hokkaido scallop. You can see all the grill marks. It really tastes so juicy, and when you bite into it, you're just like, this can't be a scallop because it's huge. Like, check it out, the size. So when they say Hokkaido scallop, it's really amazing, and this is such a highlight of our courses here. Out of 4 courses, this might be my favorite so far, but let's see if the beef or the dessert can actually beat this. But the emulsion is really tasty as well. Very juicy scallops. Let me try the chestnut and the emulsion. The emulsion is actually rather sweet. Might be the cabbages or might be the onion itself, but it has this unreal sort of sweetness from what you would expect from a vegetable emulsion. This is amazing. So here we have the Westholme Wagyu Tenderloin. We have requested for ours to be medium rare. So there's 2 really good pieces here. And here you have 3 pieces of Maine lobster that is served with the garlic skate and as well as some vegetables on the top. And right here with the Wagyu is actually the legumes demi-glace that is served with. And before we even start in this course, they actually allowed us to choose our steak knives. So these are basically carbon steel steak knives, and on the handle, mine is one from China. It's basically Chinese juniper wood, Chinese juniper wood, and here is the Indonesia ebony wood that Sean chose. So I don't think the knife makes a difference, but that's a really fun part of the experience as well. So let's try. I'll start with the tenderloin. Okay, so let's try it with the emulsion. Now I can't decide if this dish is my favorite or the fish dish before it. The tenderloin is so juicy, yet tender as well. And the emulsion is very sweet. So from what I understand, they take like many kilograms of vegetables to actually boil and make it into the emulsion over a few days. And you know, taking so many kilograms of vegetables, you can only get maybe like 1-2 liters of emulsion at the end of the day. So I can tell why this emulsion is so sweet. And it's amazing. Let's try the lobster now. Oh, we have 4 pieces of lobster, not 3. You can taste the garlic, and there's also some yuzu. And the lobster is super fresh. And it's melting in my mouth, seriously. It tastes so soft, almost like fish. I'm just surprised that lobster could be so soft tasting. Alright, so now we're on to the dessert, and this is the Piedmont Hazelnut. And I believe it's milk ice cream, and surprisingly there's also black truffle served with it as well. And there's Jerusalem artichoke as well as a hazelnut base. And if you can see this transparent layer here, just a very thin layer, that's actually the legumes emulsion. Now I'm very surprised that the vegetable theme is, you know, staying throughout, and even for the dessert we do have the legumes essence in it as well. So let's try and see how this tastes. I'm surprised because I usually don't have much expectations for ice creams when it comes to desserts. But this ice cream is amazing. There's a slightly salty flavor, and I think the truffle also balances the sweetness from the milk ice cream as well. Amazing. The hazelnut base is slightly crispy as well, slightly crunchy, and there's some of these crust looking thing. Amazing play on flavors, because your base here is creamy yet slightly crunchy with what I believe to be the hazelnut bits as well. I think there's also the ice cream on the side, the milk ice cream with the truffle. So this is such an amazing and heavenly combination. So we're down to the last of our lunch here, and it is the Petits Fours. So we have the nutmeg madeleine, and we have the cannelle de Bordeaux and chocolate coated macadamia nuts. Yum yum! How exquisite it's served in. So let's see how they taste. Really tasty. Love the macadamia. Can really taste the nuttiness of it. And let's try the madeleine. It's so light and fluffy, and it's also served slightly warm, so that's amazing. There's a slightly gingery, oh, it's actually nutmeg. Yeah, so the nutmeg taste to it is really evident. And let's try the cannelle. This looks like a bit of like cocoa nibs. I don't know if we can eat it. Oh yes, it's cocoa nibs. I think you can eat the base. It's okay. I don't have much expectations of the cannelle, but the inside is really soft and the outside tastes slightly charred, so it's amazing. Alright guys, so we have come to the end of our 4-course lunch here at Euphoria, and I must say it has been an out-of-this-world experience, and I absolutely enjoyed every single course. So do head down here to 76 Trust Street and try Euphoria for yourself. We came here for the 4-course set lunch, so this basically cost us $128 per person without drinks. But I have to say the food here is amazing. Every one of them looked different, tasted amazing. I keep using the word amazing, but it's really a perfect experience here. The service here is also impeccable, and I just love the design of this place. Even the washroom is beautifully designed as well. And when you come here, I would say, just throw all expectations out of the window and come here with an open mind to try food that you probably would have not tried before. And if you're probably thinking, how great can Gastro Botanica taste, or what is Gastro Botanica even, please do come down and give Chef Jason Tan's restaurant a try. And who knows, this place might soon be fully booked out when it earns its Michelin star or gets into the Asia's best restaurants list. So come by and grab yourself a seat here, be it lunch or dinner. I'm sure you will not regret your decision.